away from the project always. Posted at the store, trapping out every day. Ain't had no handouts, I made my own way. They love when I'm down, now I'm 4 pockets straight. My plug hit my line, it's a major play. I put on for my city in a strong way. Day one, serve my enemies when they rob me. Got the money back and got it back the next day. Stitch by stitch, I ripped it. Brick by brick, I built this. Lick by lick, I hit it. Hit by hit, that's my ticket. My people hurt my feelings in the worst way. Why they wanna kill me in my birthplace? I'm living every day like it's my last day. I came up out the mud out here having my way. Stitch by stitch, I ripped it. Brick by brick, I built this. Lick by lick, I hit it. Hit by hit, that's my ticket. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Situation really made me tighten up. Same time though, I done sold the block up. My haters can't watch me run the bag up. Get the second, watch me run it like Barry Sanders. I'm with the ice cream and they can't stand us. I got about that wheelchair and ran my bands up. I'm a young black CEO, wanna come up. Stitch by stitch, I ripped it. Brick by brick, I built this. Lick by lick, I hit it. Hit by hit, that's my ticket. My people hurt my feelings in the worst way. Why they wanna kill me in my birthplace? I'm living every day like it's my last day. I came up out the mud out here having my way. Stitch by stitch, I ripped it. Brick by brick, I built this. Lick by lick, I hit it. Hit by hit, that's my ticket. My people hurt my feelings in the worst way. Why they wanna kill me in my birthplace? I'm living every day like it's my last day. I came up out the mud out here having my way. 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 Out here having my way.
Man. Shout out for Cass, man. That's hard one lost there. One love, boss. But we are here today. Thank y'all for joining, of course. Shout out to my bro Rich, Daddy Rich. Welcome to the Playground After Dark. This is your one-stop shop for all questions, answers, and matters of that real shit. Make sure them kids ain't around, your auntie can't hear us, and grandma can't see unless today grandma a G. We ain't on that freaky shit. We ain't on none of that shit today. We gonna want some real shit. We gonna talk about some real gangster shit. In my opinion, fathers being in the household, that's some gangster shit, man. I don't care what you count, just that, you know what I'm saying? A man taking care of his responsibilities, no matter how it looked to you on the outside. If a man doing what he got to do to take care of his responsibilities, to me, that's just gangster all the way around. So I could be in that. But you know how we do on the Playground After Dark, man. We gonna get serious, but we ain't gonna get too serious. Just to get into this a little bit, we got check out this little quick clip I got. Just to set the tone for the episode today, y'all.
Did you touch the thermostat? Did you turn it up?
Well, of course not. Did somebody fiddle with the thermostat?
Yes, it's 85 degrees.
85? Do you have any idea how much even a few degrees can impact the gas bill?
Of course I do. It's unthinkable.
Dad? Kurt, what's going on in here? Why is it so hot? Someone fiddled with the thermostat. What? Who would do that?
What do you think you're doing?
It's roasting in here.
I like to sleep with my window open.
Hey, kid. Are you allowed to touch the thermostat at your mom's house?
Duh.
What is going on? Adriana, she turned up the thermostat.
Said she fiddles with the thermostat at your place anytime she damn well pleases.
Dusty, is that true? Tell me that's not true. Oh, criminy, Dusty, you might as well give her your wallet and your 401k while you're at it.
Brad, do you let the kids touch the thermostat at your house?
What? No. The thermostat is a sacred covenant. I can't believe we're even talking about this. This is madness. Oh, even Brad's got his house in order.
Hey, you got no right to talk, all right? It wasn't hard to keep me away from the thermostat once you shipped me off to military school.
Kurt, you didn't.
He was out of control. He was a bedwetter.
I was a bedwetter. Were you a bedwetter?
I was 4 years old.
Okay, everyone take it easy. It's not Dusty's fault that he lets Adriana walk all over her.
She does not walk all over me.
I can see how, being a stepdad, you might not feel empowered to discipline someone else's child.
Hey, quit your scoffing, all right? You two quit helping me.
Look, Karen and Roger, spoiler to no end. It's crazy. And there's nothing you can do. I get it. You're the stepdad. You're screwed.
That kid's never gonna respect you unless you bring the hammer down.
The hell was that, Brad?
I know. He's old school.
I think you handled this really well, Brad. I'm so proud of the way you express yourself. Come here.
Again? Really?
So you gotta have rules in the household, man. You gotta set the tone properly. You know what I'm saying? Don't be fucking with the thermostat. That's just one of the things. But I wanted to get into first, before we go deeper to the topic, I wanted to get into this picture I found today, man. Get your opinion about this shit. What you think about this picture here, Rich? You know they've been putting out the dolls,
That's crazy, bro.
and this is the one they put out for Black Dad. Like, I know
Not
they meant to be jokes and everything, but is this just a damn bit disrespectful, or like, is that really something we can
man, how you have a tax
like?
refund for that? Come on, man.
That's when the daddy show up when it's time to claim them kids, you know. But yeah, man. Okay, so let's get into these topics today. The first thing we say, on the impact of absent fathers. 82% of the fathers' involvement, in child well-being published since 1980 has been found associations between positive father involvement and offspring well-being. I don't like the way they say offspring, but whatever. We gonna go off over that. But 82% of father involvement. You think that's a good number, or what? Well, how do you feel about that? Let's first get your take on that, Rick.
82%. What's that? A B minus? If we was talking about
That's a B
grade,
minus.
B minus.
Yeah.
Man, you know, when it comes down to father, we should never have a minus, man. Such as the absent father, and the grade be that low. We need a higher score going into our generation's latter years. You know what I'm saying? We need those fathers in the household. It's important for structure purposes. Just think about
Okay.
let our kids out in the world without that structure. They're gonna learn the hard way. The world ain't as forgiving as us fathers should be. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so what are some of the emotional, social, or developmental challenges a child might face with absent father?
Looking for love in all the wrong places. Some
How
of the
so?
some might uh might settle for any type of love. You know what I'm saying? Instead of that real love. You know what I'm saying? Like that, abusive relationships and all that. They didn't see what the example should be. They didn't have that example before they got off into relationships. So they could have some drawbacks when trying to get in relationships. They might have to learn off in the deep end. Let's just say.
Do you have any other besides relationship? Do you think it impacts the development part, or how uh, a child grows to interact in the world? You know what I'm saying? Just on a job basis, or just
Just
dealing
think of
with like the DMV, something like that.
yeah, just learning all the basics. You know what I'm saying? Work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Our young men don't have those strong fatherly type role models around. They got to kind of learn on the fly, man, and it may hurt them like once they get out in the world, as far as like the job place. If you see your dad, if you was raised in the house where you seen your dad going to work and taking care of his family, you automatically gonna learn from that. But if you don't have that example, you got to kind of put it together like a puzzle.
Let's check this next video out. See here about black fathers. It's black fathers matter. It says. Um, I'm not sure. Let's just check out the video. We'll talk about the point after.
Years ago, I interviewed Kwesi Nfume, then the president of the NAACP. As between the presence of white racism and the absence of black fathers, I asked him, which poses the bigger threat to the black community? Without missing a beat, he said, the absence of black fathers. It was President Barack Obama who said, we all know these statistics, that children who grow up without a father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty and commit crime, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, and 20 times more likely to end up in prison. The Journal of Research on Adolescence confirms that even after controlling for varying levels of household income, kids in father-absent homes are more likely to end up in jail. And kids who never had a father in the house are the most likely to wind up behind bars. In 1960, 5% of America's children entered the world without a mother and father married to each other. By 1980, it was 18%. By 2000, it had risen to 33%, and 15 years later, the number reached 41%. For blacks, even during slavery, when marriage for slaves was illegal, black children were more likely than today to be raised by both their mother and father. Economist Walter Williams has written that, according to census data from 1890 to 1940, a black child was more likely to grow up with married parents than a white child. For blacks, out-of-wedlock births have gone from 25% in 1965 to 73% in 2015. For whites, from less than 5% to over 25%, and for Hispanics, out-of-wedlock births have risen to 53%. What happened to fathers? The answer is found in a basic law of economics. If you subsidize undesirable behavior, you will get more undesirable behavior. In 1949, the nation's poverty rate was 34%. By 1965, it was cut in half to 17%, all before President Lyndon Johnson's so-called war on poverty. But after that war began in 1965, poverty began to flatline. From 1965 until now, the government has spent over $20 trillion to fight poverty. The poverty rate has remained unchanged, but the relationship between poor men and women has changed dramatically. That's because our generous welfare system allows women, in effect, to marry the government. And this makes it all too easy for men to abandon their traditional moral and financial responsibilities. Psychologists call such dependency learned helplessness. How do we know that the welfare state creates disincentives that hurt the very people we're trying to help? They tell us. In 1985, the Los Angeles Times asked both the poor and the non-poor whether poor women often have children to get additional benefits. Most of the non-poor respondents said no. However, 64% of poor respondents said yes. Now, who do you think is in a better position to know? Tupac Shakur, the late rapper, once said, "I know for a fact that had I had a father, I'd have some discipline, I'd have more confidence." He admitted he began running with gangs because he wanted the things a father gives to a child, especially to a boy: structure and protection. "Your mother cannot calm you down the way a man can," Shakur said. "You need a man to teach you how to be a man." In my book, Dear Father, Dear Son, I write about my rough, tough World War II Marine Staff Sergeant dad. Born in the Jim Crow South of Athens, Georgia, he was 14 at the start of the Great Depression. Growing up, I watched my father work 2 full-time jobs as a janitor. He also cooked for a rich family on the weekends and somehow managed to go to night school to get his GED. When I was 10, my father opened a small restaurant that he ran until he retired in his mid-80s. He was never angry or bitter and insisted that today's America was very different from the world of racial segregation and limited opportunity in which he grew up. "Hard work wins," he told me and my brothers. "You get out of life what you put into it. You can't control the outcome, but you are 100% in control of the effort. And before blaming other people, go to the nearest mirror and ask yourself, what could I have done to change the outcome?" This advice shaped my life. Fathers matter. Until we have a government policy that makes that its first priority, nothing will change. I'm Larry Elder for Prager University.
To subscribe to our YouTube channel, click here. To help keep our videos free, donate here.
Yeah, exactly what he said. To help keep our videos free, donate to me. And thank you. We got Devon joining us for this conversation. With that video said, let me pose a question to you. Can absent fathers influence be what you call equalized by other support systems and other figures outside the household and house up? And Rich needs some light.
Hold up. Turn it right on.
So is you asking, is the absent father beneficial in any way? I'm not
No,
understanding.
not at all. I'm saying, can an absent father's influence be mitigated by other support systems besides if the father ain't in the home? Can somebody at the Boys and Girls Club equal out what the father is missing from that child? That's what I'm saying.
Yes and no. Yes, because if you're a positive male role model, you can definitely fit that line of positivity to give that guidance to that young man growing up. But the one thing that the father can give that no one else can give is that bloodline. I can tell you about who you are because I am who you are. Only I can tell you about my lineage. Your mama can't tell you about my lineage. Your best friend, the dude at the corner store, the mentor down the block at the Boys and Girls, none of them can tell you about where you came from, but me. As your father, that's one of my only jobs outside
Well,
of
that ain't always a good thing.
but you know where you come from. A lot of the stuff that a lot of us go through is because we don't know who we are and where our people was and what our people been doing and what our people go through. So we deal with that as just a little bit of the not knowing. If I knew that half the stuff is a lot of the stuff that we deal with in the community of just being a human is hereditary, whether it's maternal or from the father's side, paternal, a lot of things can be answered. So if you knew your grandfather's grandfather's grandfather on your father's side had bipolar, and everybody else been knocking it off, it's just, oh, he just a little crazy. But you know, and now you now know where you got that from. You now understand why these people didn't want to act right with this person. But you only gonna
I
get
can
that.
get that for health reasons, but I
Right.
have to absolutely disagree with that. I grew up with a stepfather and I knew my real father. I didn't know my real father's side of the family at all. I know about they have bad knees. I know they have high blood pressure, stuff like that. But the ways that I learned are more closely matched to the man that raised me, that I saw every single day. And I still, at the end of the day, believe that when I go out in the world, it's based off the choices that I make. Yeah, I heard stories that my dad was crazy as a motherfucker. I don't think that that has shit to do to translate to me, even though I didn't. I've seen him 3 times in my life with my eye. I've seen him 3 times in my life, and hearing 100 stories about him being wild and crazy, I don't think had not knowing that had no impact on me. I'm just that's just my personal opinion.
I feel you. Like I grew up with my
How
stepfather
you
in the
feel, Rick?
man.
Man,
My
you know,
part, go ahead.
I grew up with my dad in the house, but also my dad had a 30-year drug habit. So having those father figures in the house is like a double-edged sword. It can teach you some things to do, and it can teach you some things not to do. You
Facts.
know, so I learned a lot of what not to do from my dad, and he was a real street guy. You know what I'm saying? My dad, he wasn't no joke. You know what I'm saying? But it was all a family based thing still. You know, like man, he'd kill a brick for his family. You know what I'm saying? But having my dad there influenced me and let me know, okay, when it's my opportunity to do something, I need to make some better choices.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, as you said,
that's definitely
if,
they can show you wrong. They can show you wrong.
yeah, but it's still on the individual to say, okay, am I going to be just like that, or I'm going to make a difference to change that? And I learned that early. I got to change that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to change the course of your lineage, it started with you. You know what I'm saying? And but everybody ain't as aware of I guess situational awareness and how to navigate that. But like you said, it's other gentlemen in the community and through your journey that you may meet to fill some of those voids. Not all, but some of them.
I
What
could
are some boys that role models and other men can't feel?
Boys they can't feel.
the
Rich?
only way that I feel a non-biological father can't feel is the absent that part that yearns to know who your people is. That's the only thing I feel a stepfather, positive male role model can't feel. Is that little hole that we all have. Even when we shut it down, it was there at one point. Cause everybody has never grew up with their daddy has all asked, why did this man stay with me? Especially if he's gone and you can see him growing up with another family outside. I grew up with a stepfather inside, and the only reason I tell my father is because he was a crackhead. Keep it a buck. He was on that dope.
Well, what about like, for example, not having a male figure in the household? How do you learn how to treat a woman right? You know what I'm saying? How do you learn how to manage your wife, or where do you get those influences from?
That kicks in because your mama always gonna tell you how to treat a woman. That just goes down how they want to treat you. The thing is, the father teach you how to treat. She's gonna tell you how she personally wants to be treated and how she feels the women in her circles to be treated. Your father gonna teach you how to treat women in general. This is the guideline.
Right.
These are the steps. You open that door, you close that door, you make sure she in the house before you pull out. Those are certain steps that only a real man is going to teach. The woman is gonna be like, I want chivalry, but in the way I want my chivalry is how this goes. You know what I'm saying? You hear about it all the time. Single mothers raise the men that they want.
And then in life, man, you generally you gonna run into that dynamic. of you seeing a man treat a woman right, whether it's a neighbor, whether it's an uncle, whether it's a family friend, you're going to generally see, okay, something's different about this.
Yep.
I didn't seen some men treat women however, but this guy, you can tell, treats his lady right. You know what I'm saying? And that may be, like I said, a neighbor, or if you go to church, you may see somebody in the congregation. You may even see your pastor for that sake. You know what I'm saying? It just all depends on what your life journey is. But you're going to encounter a man that is treating a woman right. And hopefully, you pick something up from that.
Hopefully.
We are kind of focusing on little boy on the boys. I didn't mean to say that. No Diddy Pauls, no little boys, but focus on the boys. But also you got to consider the daughters. Some standpoints they have for the daughters. Do things with your daughters, not just for them. That was the what I'm saying. I'm gonna say that again for y'all. Do things with your daughters, not just for them. Um, Lecture less and listen more. Be on the lookout for hero moments and take advantage of them. Realize that the daughters and females are females and tailor your actions and responses accordingly. And give their daughters a positive view of the male sex. So that one kind of sticks out, realizing that their daughters are females and tailor your actions and responses accordingly. How are some ways that you feel like you have to address raising boys versus your daughters? Well, I meant to say that backward. How are some ways you mean you should need to be raising your daughters versus your boys? Focusing
I
on the daughters.
biggest thing, and it's the most unpopular opinion. The fact that the fact that we separate how we raise them in certain situations. The biggest one is the sex talk.
I definitely would.
The biggest one is the sex talk.
That's one of them.
We'll definitely tell our sons, the majority of us will tell our sons, go get that box. But then we'll tell our daughters, don't give it to nobody. Don't you say that shit till you get married. He better not know what it look like, smell like. Think about it. He better not see nothing. Matter of fact, put this old ass 1976 house dress from go to church in Sunday that look like the Mormons done made this motherfucker. But then we'll tell our son, bro, go in the back room, top drawer, there's some condoms there, there's some lube over there in the corner, here a couple magazines, here the free website to go watch what you're gonna do, go learn some shit, and go out there and clap as many cheeks as possible.
But we gotta rephrase our minds on that. It should be more of, I mean, honestly speaking, yeah, I'm gonna teach my son how to get the pussy and how to treat the pussy right. At the same time, I'm gonna teach my daughters to value themselves in a way. I can't say don't have sex, but know the value of what you're giving up. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't necessarily say don't. I'm, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna stop nobody from fucking.
I'm not gonna tell my son during my don't screw. I'm not gonna say it because I was strong. But what I am gonna do is when I sense, oh, you getting serious in this situation, you actually might be trying to do some shit. Maturity done kicked in. Let me tell you all the consequences, whether the good side and the bad side of having sex in general. Let me tell you, this is the shit you need to look for. And at the end of the day, if you decide to go this route, these are all the measures you can go to protect yourself. But no, at the same time, that is not a guarantee of 100% protection. And if you're going to do it, know what you're getting into. And when it comes to my daughters, it's if you decide to give this boy son, that's your decision. But at the same time, if he trying to get on some extra, do what your dad done taught you until you get to that phone and call me, and I come finish the situation. That's because the thing is, we'll tell our daughters defend yourself in these situations, but won't tell our sons, the most part, for the majority of them, don't go out there and try to take it. You ain't got a strong arm shit. A real man ain't got a strong arm. It's gonna be given to him. Cause we don't want shit that ain't given. And then everything. And I'm also gonna tell my son, every pussy that's given to you ain't worth hitting.
Yeah, I remember my sister told me that. Saved my life. You know, as far as the young men and the young ladies as your son and daughter, for me, I will have to show them an example. You know how they used to say talk is cheap. I will show them example. Son, this is how you treat a woman, the way I treat your mother. Daughter, this is how a man should treat you, the way your dad treats your mother. So we gotta be better examples of what we saying. You know, it just can't be all talk. We gotta show them the example. I got majority of nieces, and I used to help get them ready like for prom. And I'm like, okay, you need a nice dress. You need your hair together. You know, we're gonna get you all the way together. But I took them out and set them down and took them to dinner and opened the door for them. And this is how a man is supposed to treat you. You know, so we just need to give better and be better examples ourselves. And then our kids are gonna learn from that. Because we did.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah.
The other thing that when it comes to daughters versus boys, or daughters versus sons, men versus women, our daughters are always gonna be taken care of, rather by us or the government. Not being funny. Let's keep it a buck. Boys and men are always gonna be left outside. There's always gonna be a single mother program. There's always gonna be a single mother program. There's always gonna be a wayward daughter program. There's always gonna be something for your daughters. It's hardly anything for your boys, even from the part of little girls learning how to be women. You got cotillions, you got pageantries, you got all these things dedicated to teaching our ladies how to be ladies. But when was the last
So
time
you don't
somebody,
believe that a father should be a little harder on their sons?
honestly, harder? No. Because society gonna beat your son's ass, especially if he black.
That's why a father needs to be more harder. Get them prepared for that
I
shit.
wouldn't say be harder. I would say prepare him. Because the one thing, if you give that boy all tough love, no love whatsoever, he gonna have the same problem
I
that a
say
lot of us
all tough
have.
love. I just say harder. Now, the all tough love, that's a little extreme. But
But
like
if
for
you got
instance,
only
my daughter, I'm if she calls me and says I need McDonald's, I'm buying the McDonald's. If my son calls and says I want McDonald's, I know I've been giving you money. I've been giving them both money, but where's your money, son? You know what I'm saying? What you been spending your money on? You knew you was gonna want McDonald's today. You know, and I'm not. You had your opportunity to have your McDonald's money that you
I
ain't got. But my baby girl gonna eat. He ain't gonna starve. You gonna go in there and cook you a burger. I'm not buying you this McDonald's right now. But my baby girl get her. She getting 2 Happy Meals.
that's where I differ. Cause I'm gonna be on both y'all. Where the fuck did your money go? What did you do spending this thing on? Because as the frugal, I am the cheap frugal one. Okay, I am the son of a crackhead and the stepson of a very frugal keepsake type dude. We gonna buy the most important shit at the best price. I learned how to budget
But
a check.
here's my point to making that differentiation here. Of course, a woman is going to be taken care of regardless. Like you said, society is going to do that.
Yep.
But asking my son that question is not about necessarily being harder on him. I really want his mind frame to switch to say, okay, what can I do right now to earn $10 for McDonald's? That's what I want him to respond. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the choices. It's also the choices that the child makes. Rich, you got anything to add before we move on?
You know me, I'm calling it down the middle. I'm still gonna ask both of them. Where is the money I gave you, and why didn't you budget? What did you spend it on? Now, if your answer is something beneficial that you actually did the right thing with your money, all right, here I come. I'm gonna get you some McDonald's. But the
Okay.
next, and this is what my nieces and nephews really, really be bugging out with me about. Gonna lecture you. And that's what
Hey, I got an unk, man. I swear to God, I only can talk to him for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Cause that man, bro, he gonna lecture you about everything. And every time you see him, he got a new list of shit he don't never lecture you about the same shit twice.
hey,
Every time he see you, he got a new whole list of shit. I
that's
swear. Uncle Keith, shout out to you. I'm gonna name you.
you know what you're supposed to do, man. Keep you on your toes. You know, maybe you forgot
Right.
them 7 lessons. I'm here to remind you.
Hey, that's how it goes sometimes. So, all right,
Like,
well, all
it
right,
all
next video standpoint. I get cut out. What you say?
It all depends on what they spent their money. If you wasted your money, you might not get it done. Or if I'm gonna get it, you gonna get a lecture real quick. But if you spent it on like pops, I had this project coming up and I bought all the supplies. Oh, okay, here I come. Let me go and get you some McDonald's because you are focused on your future. Now if you like, hey man, I just went and played video games. I bought candy and snacks, and you wasted your money. I'll be looking at your side eye.
I
Now,
feel you.
I feel you on that because now, as a person that was in school, I was definitely the hustler. I had the snacks, I had the pens, the pencils, I had whatever you needed. If you told me you went to go hustle something, so you ain't touching it right now until you go back to school, even then I might still get you to McDonald's. I still might get you to
Oh
McDonald's.
yeah, you win on principles. You can, like I told you. What I'm looking for is the child to ask me, how can I earn this $10? That's just what I'm looking for. You might have a whole nother scheme in your head about that McDonald's. It's on you to respond. I'm just saying it's gonna be a lot easier for my baby girl to just ask me for some shit, and I'm gonna buy it and get that shit out the way and get back to what I got to do. But that's just me personally. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Next clip we got it.
Welcome back to my living room floor. In lieu of recent circumstances and for Anaya's sake, I think it's time to talk about why black dads matter. So earlier this month, I read an article about a 4-year-old who was brutally beaten by her mother and her boyfriend. Her father has made several attempts to report this abuse. However, nothing was done, and unfortunately, the child passed away. When are we going to take this seriously? These are children. First of all, if you don't want a child, there are plenty of preventative measures to take. There are contraceptive methods. There are adoption agencies. There are other humane alternatives to killing a child. It's way too many innocent children taken out of this world due to their selfish guardians. Samaje's case was enough for me. DCFS has been called to that house several times and nothing has been done. That child has ended up dead in a couch. Nothing was done to protect that child. It's no secret that we have such a messed up system. So it's time to talk about it. There are many broken fatherless children who need their fathers. There are certain things that mothers can't teach their sons. There's a toxic cycle of damage that is done when a father is not active in their child's life. Studies have shown the child is 10 times more likely to repeat that behavior as their father in previous years. Mothers, put those personal feelings aside and focus on what's best for the child. Fathers are essential to a child's growth and success, so we have to break that cycle. And of course, there are men who are unfit fathers, who are inconsistent, are emotionally abusive. And yes, we want to protect our children from those kind of men. But I think if the father is actively trying to be in their child's life, I think mothers should allow them to do that. In Anaya's case, her daddy reported her injuries several times and tried to get emergency custody of her. However, the judge granted custody of her mother, who had been abusing her. Reports say even her teachers would ask her where the mysterious bruises would come from, and she would say, "Mommy did it." With that being said, I read something online which I thought raised a very important question. Do we need to start meeting the baby mother's or baby father's significant other? Let me know your thoughts. And to the fathers who are trying to do right by their children, we see you and keep fighting. Well, that's all I have for today. Feel free to join me next time. Like, comment, and subscribe, and tune in next time.
I didn't even when I previewed that, I didn't even watch that, but that's a good ass question, you know what I'm saying? She posed right there. You know what I'm saying? Do you need to meet the significant other? You know what I'm saying? That's I understand. I don't know why he laughing at the child losing their life. That's kind of fucked up.
That's not what I was.
Uh,
I'm over here at work
but
and
some
my boss walked by and said some funny shit. People don't know how to.
heck no. But so about spending the right amount of time, you know, what's the like? I don't know. Like, what is it? A difference between spending quality and quantity? To like, can you like being there all day? Does that add up to showing up for an hour and taking them to do something special that they've been waiting on? Like, is it
It
a
does.
difference between quality and quantity when it comes to spending time with kids?
Man, it all
Face all day, but ain't teaching them nothing, ain't showing them nothing, ain't trying to do nothing. You just been there. But the dude that come around for an hour and he taking that whole hour to teach them kids something, to show them something. That hour is way more important than the person that was just sitting on the last whole time, sitting there talking about, I'm babysitting. And the whole time your kids just in the room eating snack cakes and playing the game. And just know that if they break something, you're gonna be mad. If you're gonna spend the time, make the time count.
yeah.
What was you adding, Rich?
Oh man, it just all depends on the dynamic of the relationship that the father has with his kids. If you know, but you got to sit there and have them talks with them kids too. Like, hey, Dad, I got this type of work schedule or business schedule. Explain to them. You know what I'm saying? Now, without the explanation, and because a lot of people don't think they have to explain nothing to their kids, but with the explanation comes a line of respect. Without it,
Yeah, that's
the
something we
mind,
definitely got to change.
you know what I'm saying? The mind gets to wonder like, dang, where my dad at? Where he spend all this time? And you don't know. But it's different when the dad say, hey son, my work schedule today is 8 to 8. So I'm gonna do a 12-hour shift. You know, just explain the things about life that they gonna need when they grow up. When they encounter that 12-hour shift. Say dad is heating and cooling and it's the summertime. Son, this the best time to make the money in the summer. Everybody air conditioning breakdown. You know, this is soon as I'm done, I'm gonna come get you. We're gonna go. You know, just give them some explanation. You know, and that may help them when they grow up. They'll be able to make the decision. Okay, let me tell my kids. I know I was supposed to be here at 4, but I got a couple hours of overtime. You know, this the high peak season. You know, just give them some explanation, man. And man, talk to your kids, man. You got to. They humans, man. You got to talk to
You got to
them. And
talk
then
to them. Got to
even
talk to
when
them. Well, I'm
wait,
glad you bringing up these points about working overtime. Um, so this is some real shit. You know what I'm saying? I say this the most important question for last. You know what I'm saying? Um, so how are some ways that a father can contribute? You know what I'm saying, outside the explanations and ways, but what are some of ways a child can contribute meaningful when they are not working? You know what I'm saying? The dad ain't got that, but you know what I'm saying, what are ways that he should be contributing more in the household?
structure, man. You know, I know how to wash my clothes at 10. You know what I'm saying? My dad was always there. Take the trash out, clean your room. You know, put your kids on a schedule. You know, that way mom is doing is the breadwinner. When she get there, everything should be done. The kids should be fed, homework done, they bathe, they in bed, the house is quiet. Mom come in like, oh, what's going on here? You know, but it's unconventional, but it works. You know what I'm saying? When mom's the breadwinner and dad's not working, he may be in between jobs, but you know, pick up the slack, man. There's a lot of lessons that can be learned from dad in their house. You know what I'm saying? When he's not working, and that's what's gonna be his approach.
'Cause I say outside of just
Devon, got anything to add?
like Rich was saying, teach them a skill. Whatever your skills are, if you know how to fix cars, ain't no reason why your kids don't know how to fix cars. If you know how to build shit, ain't no reason why your kids don't know how to build shit. Because if you're not working, all you have time to do is teach your kids your skills. Whether it be an oil change, a tire, how to change a tire, how to build a sofa, whatever your skill is, it's valuable. Even if all you know how to do is clean, that is your God-given skill, is to clean. So your kids should know how to super duper clean. They should know what not to put on wood. They should know club soda, little peroxide, take blood out of anything. They should know these things because that's your skill.
Be better. Be better, guys. Be better.
You know what I'm saying? If you know how to garden, if you know how to farm, your kids should know that. Because, like he said, if your lady is at the 9 to 5 making it, and you at home, give her a reason to want to come home. Same way we tell our wives and we tell our ladies, give me a reason to want to come home outside of the box. Give me a reason to come home to this motherfucker. It goes twofold. If you at home and she at work, give her a reason to want to come home. Clean the house. Make sure the kids are
Well,
straight.
fuck her. We talking about the kids today.
But you ain't gonna have them without her. If somebody gotta bring the bread in.
Fuck
So
that
while
bitch.
you at home with the kids, like he said,
How
should
we
be
know
on
she stayed
time,
around? You know what I'm
schedule,
saying?
they
It's some
situated.
deadbeat moms out here too. You
Oh,
know what I'm
hell yeah.
saying? It's some only fathers out here who got
Shout out to my
custody of
bro.
their kids,
You know,
man.
shout out to my
Act
two
like don't be acting like the situation ain't there, man.
But bro, he got
Right.
his door.
Fuck them hoes.
And man, let me share a story real quick. I got my brakes changed Sunday, and the man who changed my brakes told me this story. He said, "Man, Rich, when my son was young, I taught him everything I knew about carpentry." Right? He said, "Now he's 18. He needs to, you know, get out in the world, spread his wings, get to work." His son applied for a construction job, got in, and got a $2 raise in the same week. He about to be 19. By
You
the end,
prove you worth it. That's how you do it.
you know what I'm saying? He taught him everything he knew about carpentry. By the end of the year, he'll be making $30 an hour at 19.
Killing them.
And that's one where I feel like, okay, I don't know how we address things like that. So exactly what you just said, I have great love for that, and I have a problem at the same time. Be- uh, Not a problem with anything the father did, a little bit what the son did, but I get it. See, what happened in this situation is that son got on that job, busted his ass, proved that he had the experience more than just a basic pay. You see what I'm saying? He's proved his worthiness of that extra $2 per hour. You know what I'm saying? But something just to switch gears a little bit, I'm gonna readdress this on mental health as well. The problem that I have with it is some things that we need to be better on is knowing how to negotiate our pay better. When it comes to our yearly raises and those merits and going in there and fighting for your dollars, I'll be damned if somebody offered me 5 cents mofo out, like I'll smack the shit out you. Like that's kind of shit that we gotta be a little bit better on, not necessarily as fathers, just people at period. You know what I'm saying? But we'll be like I said, we're gonna address that on another platform. But thanks for sharing that story, Rich. I appreciate that. Yeah, you definitely like you said, like Devon said, you gotta show your kids what you know, man. Even if they use it or they don't, that's up to them. But show them something. You know what I'm saying? Teach them how that go. I want to thank y'all for joining today and giving y'all input and expertise to the matters. I swing from right to left, Devon. If you got something you want to let the people know about, go ahead and let them know where they can find you and what's going on.
Well, I always got something brewing. Coming in May, we got a Mother's Day brunch, and then the May 31st, we holding my fraternity. We holding our prostate cancer fundraiser in Tower Grove Park. Free to
Fuck
free to
cancer.
everybody pop out, come learn about my fraternity, and also learn about prostate cancer. We got food vendors, we got music, good vibes only. Also, as always, anybody can feel free to tap in, hit me up if y'all need a photographer, some graphics. You know what I'm saying? I'm always around, always available to help out. And I also do websites.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get that Devon.
All
Give
right.
me some color.
I got you.
Hey,
All right, Rich, what you got for the people?
man, this Saturday, I'll be with Carondelet, Food Patch, and Tweezy the Don of Soldier by Blood, doing a motivational speech for the Carondelet Food Patch this Saturday. Um, man, I got music uploaded, Distro Kid. Go check out that Daddy Rich. Remember when? You know that I'm gonna holler at Divine, give me some cover art for, cause I got the video dropping. I did 4 days worth of shooting last week. Recorded 2 new songs. Uh, Stack Brothers Divine Vines is almost done. Stack Brothers Present Sauce and the Fly Brutus is almost done. And Daddy Rich, my mixtape, Head of Household. You know, it's just a family thing.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that shit out. Definitely check all that out.
All right. Good shit, good shit, good shit. Appreciate y'all again for stopping through, man, and giving y'all information for the people. Going good time. Y'all make sure y'all catch us Saturday, 420. I mean Sunday, 420. Smoke out shit. $100 contest for best smoker, best rollers. Um, you gonna just lay that out on the platform. Hey man, we ain't playing no games. Come get that.
Yeah,
Tomorrow,
best
make sure if y'all anywhere near Chicago area, we have 4 free tickets for y'all to claim. So if anybody in the Chicago area, you can stop by the LOAB. They got Eugene Belcourt and D So Funny performing at Riddles tomorrow. If the 4 tickets get claimed, they $15 at the door. So you know how that go. If you want to claim the free ticket, just show up and tell them the playground after dark sent you. There's 4 of them right there laying for you. But everybody after that, hey, I don't know what to tell you. But we gonna check out of here. Hope we get another chance to rap with y'all real soon, man. Like I said, I appreciate y'all. Always love when y'all come through the After Dark station. Tonight, I'm glad we kept it clear of any of that crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? It was just some good, like I said, some good talk to help some people out. So if you got some young uh men, some young ladies out there that might need a mentor, I believe both of these gentlemen are involved with mentorship programs. So reach out and see how you can get some help with that. And it's a lot of them around the city. So don't be shameful to look for help if you need help, because there's a lot of programs out here. I know Better Family Life probably got a bunch of them going on themselves, but there's a lot of programs out here for kids, both after school and just, you know what I'm saying, just in general. So shout out to y'all, man. We be out. We be back at you. I don't even know when the next interview is. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Stay tuned.
Came a long way from the project always. Posted at the stove trapping out every day. Ain't had no handouts, I made my own way. They love when I'm down, now I'm 4 pockets straight. My blood hit my line, it's a major play. I put on for my city in a strong way. Day one, serve my enemies when they rob me. Got the money back and got it back the next day. Stitch by stitch, I ripped it. Brick by brick, I built this. Lick by lick, I hit it. Hit by hit, that's my ticket. My people hurt my feelings in the worst way. Why they wanna kill me in my birthplace? I'm living every day like it's my last day. I came up out the mud, out here having my way. Stitch by stitch, I ripped it. Brick by brick, I built this. Lick by lick, I hit it. Hit by hit, that's my ticket. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Situation really made me tighten up. Same time though, I done sold the block up. My haters can't watch me run the bag up. Get the second, watch me run it like Barry Sanders. I'm with the ice cream and they can't stand us. I got about that wheelchair and ran my bands up. I'm a young black CEO, wanna come up. Stitch by stitch, I ripped it. Brick by brick, I built this. Lick by lick, I hit it. Hit by hit, that's my ticket. My people hurt my feelings in the worst way. Why they wanna kill me in my birthplace? I'm living every day like it's my last day. I came up out the mud, out here having my way. Stitch by stitch, I ripped it. Brick by brick, I built this. Lick by lick, I hit it. Hit by hit, that's my ticket. My people hurt my feelings in the worst way. Why they wanna kill me in my birthplace? I'm living every day like it's my last day. I came up out the mud, out here having my way. 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 Out here having my way.